Okay, so now we're going to do the family conference. We're going to focus on reviewing the status and then trying to develop a plan with the family that kind of meets everyone's needs, and close by summarizing what that plan is so that everybody understands.
So, Mrs. Smith, hi, thank you, and Mrs. Smith, thank you very much for being here. And my goals for this conference are, to really get what your concerns are and what's going on in your world, because I get that you have been planning this pregnancy to be a home birth, and this is kind of a kink in your plan, and that can be overwhelming when things change like that, especially when a provider comes in and says that something dangerous might be happening. So I'd just love to start by hearing what your concerns are and what your goals are for your pregnancy and for your baby.
Go ahead. I mean, obviously, we want our baby to be healthy and safe, and that's the biggest priority, but I feel like my friend, she was going to have a home birth, and then they sent her to the hospital, and she got induced, and she had a C-section, and she could never breastfeed her baby, and that's not the best thing for the baby. I really want our baby to have no drugs. I want to have a natural birth, and then I want to be able to breastfeed. I think that's the healthiest start, and so I feel like there's a risk to going home, but there's risks to staying here that I think you guys underestimate. Getting an epidural, having Pitocin, all that stuff, those are risks too. And so I feel like before you were just you're making a bad decision by leaving. You weren't really being honest about what could happen if I stayed.
And I'm just really scared. I don't know anything about medicine, and if I were to lose her, our little one, I just am so scared right now. I don't know what to do.
Well, thank you. Thanks for sharing that. It can be a scary time. And thank you for being honest with me. I didn't mean to bulldoze over you at all. And what I'm hearing is that you are concerned about potential risks of staying here, and what you've heard from your friends or it sounds like you're very educated and informed on this, kind of like the way that things can play out if you were to stay in the hospital, you were to get induced, and then you might have to have a C-section, and what your goals are to have a natural, unmedicated birth. And that's really important for you.
And also, I feel fine right now. I feel well, if I start to feel bad, I can come in.
Right.
We have time. So it feels like overkill to make me stay here.
Do we have time? Is that something that is time really something that we have?
Well, one of the things that I would like to talk to you about is I would feel comfortable if, for example, or one plan that I have would be if we could keep you here for 24 hours, so it wouldn't be an indefinite stay, but for 24 hours we'd monitor you, continue to take your blood pressures, see how the baby is doing, and reevaluate in 24 hours, and be in communication in that way. Because and in addition to that, I understand you've been working with a midwife, and I am a midwife, and while a home birth is different than a hospital birth, there are a lot of tenets that we both agree on, as far as natural birth and unmedicated birth, and so doing everything that I can to have you have the birth that you would like to have in the way that you'd like to bring your baby into the world while keeping you safe.
If I have a birth in the hospital, though, do I have to be laying on my back in a hospital bed? Because I've heard that's not really the best way. And
You don't.
I don't want, I didn't want to have regular cervical checks. I didn't want to have, I can't even remember. I didn't want to have directed pushing.